Hello, Collector's Maze. We're here with the ever so talented Samantha Kelly.
Hello.
So
Hi.
if you guys have seen any of our interviews, you guys know the first thing we do is let our guest interview, or not interview, but introduce himself. Samantha, tell us what you've done and what we may have heard you in, and what you do.
Great. So, yes, I have done the voice for Princess Peach and Toad since 2007, about 73 games, something like that. A lot of games. And I'm also a mom, and I also do radio, things like that. So, yeah. And I'm super excited to come to Level Up. We are going to have a
Yeah,
blast.
it's gonna be crazy. So, tell me how you ended up getting the role of Peach.
I had no idea what a cool role it was. My agent sent me on this audition, and I did it, got there, and they basically had Jen Taylor, who did the voice of Peach before I did. They had her voice, and they go, "Can you match this?" Yeah, my voice was a really good match for it. And then after I got the job, I realized what it was, and I was just like, "What?" If I had known that, it probably would have totally freaked me out. So I'm actually relieved I didn't know. And then I just met Jen for the very first time last weekend.
Oh, wow.
I've all these years I've admired her. I've wanted to meet her, and I was so excited. And I met her at a con, and I went up to her and I started talking to her. And every time I spoke to her, I stuttered. I wanted to meet you. I don't even stutter. Like, I never stutter. And I was so just starstruck. And she's like, "Okay, hi." She's super nice,
That's
and
awesome.
I'm just like this big, awkward, sweaty person who's trying to introduce myself to her. So hopefully the next time we get together, it's going to be better. I tried.
It's all right.
I finally got to meet her.
I know what you mean. I'll have to send you the links. I've interviewed some of the most incredible people, and I know exactly what you mean. And before this whole thing started, I literally was like, couldn't even talk to you, so I know exactly what you do. So with Peach, you've done how many? You said 70 to 75 games,
I
somewhere in
think
there.
it's like 73 or 75 games.
Wow,
There's a lot of them. Yeah.
that's awesome. So you said before you didn't really know like the scale of who Peach was. When did you
Mm.
like when did it hit you? Like when did you go to a con and all of a sudden, boom?
Oh, okay. So it wasn't at a con. It
Okay.
was actually playing the games. I
Oh,
got the
wow.
games. I was a new stepmom,
Okay.
and I was terrified because stepmoms are supposed to be evil, and I didn't feel particularly evil, and I was so worried that this little boy wouldn't like me. And so I was like, "We're getting a Wii. We're gonna get Mario Kart. We're gonna play Mario Kart." We played Mario Kart all the time, he
Mhm.
and I, and got so excited. A lot of times I would race as Peach on a bike, and I would get so excited that I'd start making the sounds just like she was making. And I went, "Oh, I did that. That's my voice." It was really exciting. And, on another level, too, it was really fun because he and I bonded so much and we made so many good memories. So for me, like when I'm at a con and a dad or a mom comes up or a family and they go, "We have played this. Now our kids are playing it." It just makes me happy to be part of a game that has been part of so many people's childhoods, and it has built a lot of bonding and relationships with families because I did it myself. So that's
That's
when it
awesome.
became real for me.
That's awesome. Because yeah, it's literally a staple. Super Mario is a staple. Even the later games, everybody is playing those. So
They're so fun. Yeah.
they're amazing. So how did Toad come about? Like how did that happen?
Toad, same deal. And who would think that Peach and Toad's voices are at all similar?
Not me.
But, Jen was doing it.
Oh,
And
I didn't know that
apparently
either.
I'm
Okay.
so Star Trek struck, I'll do whatever. So I started doing Toad as well. And that one was fun because just as Peach, I think, is a very delightful, fierce, restrained, polite, but sassy little character. And Toad is just all heart and also unrestrained, with the expression. And so it's really fun to record Toad, especially after Peach, because Peach is so nicely presented and
Mhm.
Toad is just free form. It's really fun to record Toad.
Yeah, his squeal sounds like R2D2 to me for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I never thought it. Yeah, you're
Yes,
right.
it's a beat.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
talk about voice acting. How did you even get into this?
I did radio and I was doing a lot of commercials for national clients. So like Nordstrom, Amazon, Google Maps, banks, stuff like that.
Wow. Okay.
And I remember I think someone had asked me, do you have an agent? And I didn't at the time. And they started sending me these different auditions. And that's how I did. I also did the voice of Sunny Day in the Backyard Sports series way back in the day. Right.
Okay, what a throwback! I had no idea. That is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. So I got to do these auditions that I probably couldn't have tracked them down on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just a whole new world for me and a lot more fun. I mean, I love banks and businesses and stuff, but come on, it's just a lot more fun.
Absolutely. So you've probably been at cons with Charles and Kenny all the time, right?
Yep.
Tell me a story about Kenny and Charles, because I know they're just, I guarantee you they're just out of control. Talking to Kenny, I haven't gotten to talk to Charles yet, but like, I can just imagine the stories you have. Give me like just one story of a con that you guys were at and that was just out of this world. That was fun.
Okay. We always have fun. That's one thing I will say. A lot of times they'll group us kind of together, and because it's just easier, we have fans all come in and saying hi, and Kenny's usually right next to me. And that man, he's so tricky. He travels with a shell, like you would throw in Mario Kart.
Yes.
And so occasionally I'll just be talking with something or whatever, and a shell will come lobbing over and hit me in the head. But and here's the thing, that he is so annoyed by Toad's voice that I'll just catch him in a peaceful moment and do the Toad voice. And he just goes, ah. So I love the reaction.
That's great.
He's like a brother, and I just do stuff to annoy him. Yeah, he's definitely fun. Charles is awesome as well. Charles is so larger than life. And what I love about Charles is when he signs, he makes all the sounds as he's signing. And it's like a show, and he's big and tall and sweet and animated. So just even being around him is pretty special. But he's just a walking show, and it's hard to get near Charles because there's always such a huge group of people. I mean, Mario,
True.
he's amazing.
Well, you can't lose him in a crowd,
Yeah,
Pretty tall.
just recently we've started touring with Laura Faye Smith, who plays Rosalina.
Okay.
And she is really fun. So the last con that we did, I forgot my hairbrush, and in like the middle of the night, I knew we had to show up the next day, and my hair was just traveling funny hair. And I said, do you have a hairbrush I can borrow? And she goes, I'm going to the drugstore tonight, I'll get you one. And so she buys me this hairbrush, and it was in Rosalina blue. So at the con the next day, I had her sign it. So I have this beautiful signed by Laura Faye Smith teal hairbrush that
awesome.
I'll keep forever.
Absolutely.
So lumerific. Yeah.
So we talked about the commercials and stuff like that, and it's funny because you're sitting there talking with your hand up, like just like you were talking about. Yeah, just exactly. So
I know.
It's adorable. It's awesome. So
Sorry.
Don't apologize at all. So getting into the commercials and stuff, how did that even start? Like, let's go all the way back to the beginning of getting into that. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the encouragement that I like to share with people, because when I was a kid, I was a super shy kid. Like, seriously, I couldn't talk. If anyone spoke to me, I remember being in 5th grade and the teacher was talking to me, and I just burst into tears because it was so overwhelming that someone would expect words to come out of my mouth, and just profoundly shy. My mom always told me, maybe someday you could be a researcher or a librarian or something where you never have to talk to anybody. And, the weirdest thing, I think it's just, there's God has a sense of humor. He's just like, okay, let's try this. And once I started voice acting, the thing that happened for me was nobody's looking at you. And so you're in a booth, you can be as silly as you want to be, and you can make a fool of yourself and no harm comes. And so it was kind of revelatory to me to go, you can put your whole self into it and it's okay. People will like you. It will be okay. And it's helped me a lot, because it's surprising how many people come up and say hello, and they're creative people. They can do amazing voices, or they're amazing artists. They have some gifts, but they're super shy, or they have some challenges and things like that. And you just go, no, don't even let that stop you, because it's amazing. Once you just turn it loose, you can do stuff. And if you start doing what you're gifted at and you keep on doing it, eventually I think it finds you. I think a lot of people always ask me, well, how do you become a voice actor? I don't know. It just kind of found me. And all I know is, just if you're gifted at it, keep doing it. Do it because you love it, not for the money. and not for any attention you get. Just do it because you love it, and it will find you.
So awesome. So awesome, encouraging moment. What was your first game as Peach?
My first game as Peach, oddly enough, was Strikers in 2007. And now we've just come to full circle because it's released, just came out, and it's supposedly fantastic. I haven't played it yet, but I've heard that it's the graphics. Have you played it?
It's pretty darn good. I was shocked.
What do you like? What parts do you like?
It plays to me like the graphics are very like comic booky. Like I think the hard black lines on everything just make everything pop. It's very cool and a lot more to do with it because like I played the original Strikers. This one just like takes it to the next level. It's awesome.
That's cool. I can't wait to try it. Yeah, sure. I've just heard from friends that it's really, really cool.
For sure. So what was the most let's do this. I know there's probably a game or something you're working on that you can't talk about yet. What's the most recent game that you've worked on that you can talk about?
The last one I think I recorded for was Mario Kart Tour.
Okay.
Was that about 2 years ago, I think? Time, COVID kind of swallowed up a whole big chunk of time. So it might have been right before COVID. Yeah, so that was the most recent one that I worked on. The other thing that I worked on that was really fun was in the Universal Studios Mario World, the theme, Super Mario World. So they opened it in Japan, and they have all these amazing characters, and I got to do the voices for Peach, who interacts with people in the theme park. Yeah. And so we recorded all these possible conversations that she could have with little girls or people coming up to her, and to get to really, a lot of times in these games, we don't say more than 1 or 2 lines. And so getting to have a conversation with somebody as the princess, oh, it was so good. It was so fun. So that was super challenging and fun. And yeah, so that one's, and then, yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff coming up. I think there's a Peach Lego is coming out in August.
Really?
Do you remember? So Peach Mario Lego, it makes and Luigi. Those are so cute, and they're interactive for younger kids. And now I think we have a Peach coming in August.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that was fun too.
Absolutely. So talk about you've probably traveled all over the world for cons, right?
Not as much as I'd like, mostly in the United States.
Okay. What's the furthest you've gone? Because I think you're like, which side?
I'm on the West Coast. Okay. I'm in Washington. That's where Nintendo's headquarters is.
Oh, okay.
I've traveled to Florida. I mean, Pensacola is as far away as I could get.
Gotcha.
I haven't gone international yet, but hopefully sometime. Charles does a lot of that because he's out of the United States. So he travels to a lot of different countries.
Okay, cool. So what is your favorite line from Toad? Because I know it's not necessarily always lines. I know it's mostly noises. But what's your favorite Toad noise?
Have you seen some of the stuff on YouTube that people do with Toad? They always come up to me like, "Can you do that?" No.
Oh.
Here's the thing: is like at every single con, people will come up and they can do the voices better than I can.
Wow.
Seriously, like there's always somebody that you're like, you nailed it. You're so good at this, and that's actually really encouraging to me because it's like these are our characters. We all own these characters, and anyone can do these voices, and it's really fun. And then you get to hear from people too what their favorite lines are. Toad is tricky because he doesn't really have that many lines. I mean, he's just sounds. I think my favorite sound from Toad is probably just that enthusiastic that like that kind of like just let's go kind of sound. That was another fun thing with the theme parks is we got to record a lot of dialogue for Toad and a new character called Chef Toad, which was in the little restaurant thing that was there. So but Toad doesn't have a lot of lines.
Absolutely. So do you I know this part you probably don't, but do you change your voice based on which Toad you are?
For Toadette,
for like
Toadette, I do, but not for the different colored ones. Not that I know of. And who knows what they do post-production. So I don't know, if they treat anything afterwards, and change anything. But we don't consciously go, well, this is going to be a green Toad or, no. But Toadette, for sure.
Absolutely. So also, is there anything you haven't done that you'd like to do with your voice acting?
Oh, yeah. Everything.
Everything?
Like I said, like more dialogue is would be really fun. I'm always excited about new characters. Like, it was super fun for us when we went into the studio to record for 3D world, like, where there were all these characters that they had invented, and we got to try to make up voices for them. So I'm always excited when we go in, because we don't know what the script is going to be. I just know Nintendo's amazing, and their team of collaborators, it's always incredible. They have like 6 or 8 people sitting there, and they're super smart people. And so they'll just go, hey, what if we did it like this, and like it was a feeling like this, and then you go, yeah, that makes sense, and then you just start doing it. And it's more of a team effort than anything, which is super fun.
So Kenny told me for Super Smash Brothers, they actually used animal noises.
Right.
Did you record new lines for Super Smash?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because Peach in Smash is so different. You know, like so many dudes come up to me and they play Peach in Smash, and their friends, they can't hang. Like,
no.
She just takes it.
Yeah.
And
she's
I
an
tried
A-tier championship. Like, for the
yes!
championship, she's A-tier, which is insane to think about.
It is. So yeah, we recorded all new lines for her on that. And those are some of people's favorite lines. You know, I think the Hacha and Did I Win are like the top lines that people love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So with all of the Nintendo stuff, are you exclusive to Nintendo, or can you work elsewhere?
I can work elsewhere.
Awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. And you never know. I like it. And so I'm kind of picky about what I do. So these days I like what I do, and I always want to honor that, you know, and so we'll see. I don't know. I know Kenny's doing a lot of anime, and he's really into that. He actually moved so he could do more anime. For me, it's kind of organic for me. I figure I got this job in an organic way, and if there's going to be some more, it'll come. And so I don't worry about it too much.
Good to know. Awesome. So what's a good one? So growing up, did you, like, what you said, you were really, really shy. When did you end up getting over that part? Like, how did you overcome that?
Last week I did. No, I do think it was probably as I did a lot of acting when I was probably late teens and 20s.
Okay.
And I think that helped a lot, because if you have a script, you can comfortably work off that and you're not awkward. And then as I got involved in radio, you do a lot more improv, and having conversations like this conversation we're having right now, that would have been impossible back in the day. And it's just getting used to talking with people. I think it's practice like anything else. So just the more I've done it, the more comfortable I get with it, but still shy, obviously. You know, I made a total fool of myself with Jen Taylor. So it's just like super shy. But you know what? That's, I think, the thing I like best about cons, and why I'm so excited to come for Level Up, is that that kind of environment where everyone is accepting and it's non-judgmental, it's collaborative, it's creative, it's enthusiastic, and we're all there because we have a passion for this. And there's a certain just acceptance that you don't get that anywhere else in the world, and we really need it now. So I love going to cons because it makes my heart refresh. And in these times, I think we need it.
Absolutely. So let's talk about just what you would give, like, what kind of advice would you give someone getting into voice acting, and kind of like, how did you kind of get comfortable with the voice acting, and I'm sorry, I am horrible today. Advice for someone getting into voice acting, and something that really helped you in your path to voice acting.
Yeah. The thing that helped me the most is sounding natural, because if you've ever seen someone who reads something and you can tell they're reading because there's a certain stiffness and the cadence of it, you don't believe them. Mm-hmm. And to me, the best actors, voice acting or any other kind, you believe them 100%, because with their heart, they totally mean whatever it is they're doing. So my advice for young actors is always get something, that a story or something that you've written or whatever, and then practice telling it, not reading it, but practice learning it inside yourself and then speaking it, and speak it as if you're speaking right to your best friend or right to the person you're going to give it to, and give it with your whole heart and sell it, you know, just so that anyone who hears it goes, yep, I buy that 100%. And if you can do that, that is gold. And it's really rare because very few actors can do that. And then just the physical act of practicing reading, because a lot of times they'll go into an audition and they'll give you a script. You've never seen it before. How are you going to stand out from everyone else? If you have practiced reading so that your eyes can just look at a line of text and go, okay, I own that now. Now I'm going to speak it. If you can train yourself to do that, you stand out and they'll remember you. And there's something that, if you own it, they're going to want to have you. So to me, that's how you stand out. And so those are two things. So that's practicing reading, and then it's practicing telling. Kind of the same, but not really. But both of those skills are the best thing you can do as an actor. And then just the usual, like community theater. And these days, you can record yourself in your own studio and mess around with your voice. What sounds funnier? What sounds more touching? What is a cool character voice I could do? And just mess around with it. And then, there's so many websites now. My sister works in business, and a lot of times they'll get voices from websites like voice123.com, places where you're going to get a couple $100 for doing something, but your voice gets out there, you get something for your demo reel, and you had fun doing it. Why not? These days you might not even need an agent to get some things. So as a young actor, I'd be just like, put your stuff everywhere, talk to everyone, go, how can you help me? Here's what I'm interested in doing. Be curious. I started in radio, so it was easy because there was all this equipment and recording, and that's how I learned to do it all. But these days you can do that in your own basement.
Absolutely. So last thing, how excited are you for Level Up, and what can we expect from you coming to Level Up?
Oh, it's going to be so fun. To me, just the idea of how many people you have coming. I mean, list off a few of these guys. Like, what are people looking forward to?
We have the Mortal Kombat original cast, Mortal Kombat 1 through 3, and then obviously Kenny's going to be there, throw another shell at you probably. And then we'll also have Colleen O'Shaughnessy, who's Tails, and she's also some anime, but she's Tails from the new Sonic movie. And then we have some people coming from the Telltale series. We have Melissa Hutchinson and Andre. I cannot pronounce his last name ever. So, but it should be a good time.
I can't wait to hang out with everyone, and who knows, maybe I'll bring my Rosalina hairbrush and just have everyone sign it. That thing will be so valuable.
So what kind of stuff do you like to sign at cons, so we know what people to bring?
Everything. The funniest thing that we ever signed was a baby. Someone didn't have anything for us to sign, and they had their baby, and they're like, will you sign our baby? So we just, on the onesie, with a Sharpie. Wasn't on the actual baby. We've done that before. And then sometimes people go like, I totally want a tattoo of your signature, whatever. So we've signed people before, and then they have it tattooed on. I've signed helmets and crowns, and I like all of it. I'm trying to think of the most unique. Yeah, the baby probably is the most unique thing. Yeah, absolutely. We can't top that.
So where can we find you social media wise?
Oh, yes. Samantha Kelly Peach on Instagram, Samantha Kelly on Facebook. I have a Twitter account, but I can't remember it. So that tells you how much I don't do with Twitter. So I'll grow up eventually. The first time I did, I was really slow with social media, and Kenny was the one who made me do it. He's like, you have to do it. You're going to do it. So I did my very first Instagram post with him just ridiculing me the whole way. And now I've passed him in the number of people are following. So that was my personal goal, was like to pass him.
There you go. There you go.
He started it all. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Samantha, thank you so much. Do you prefer Samantha or Sam?
Either way.
Either way. Awesome.
Anything. Yep.
Well, thanks again. We'll look forward to seeing you in October.
Oh, I can't wait. Thank you so much. Mwah!